we got ourselves a fun one today. This request is coming from Lemon Flavored Duck. And we're going to be doing a Spider-Man theme. This one's getting a red on the outside and then black and white on the inside for the eyes. Now that's going to be interesting because I theorize that the black and white are actually going to mix together to make a gray. I don't think they're going to stay, kind of looking the way they're supposed to for Spider-Man's eyes. But we're going to find out. We're gonna see what happens with that. I'm excited. I'm interested. I do love mixing things up. Now I don't know if you can tell, but I've also added some blue for the outline because I was like, Spider-Man is red and blue. He's not just red, right? We got to get the blue in there somehow. But as we saw a few days ago, when we mixed the red and blue together, the blue just fully takes over. So I said, you know what? We're going to do an outline in blue, do the face in red, and then black and white for the eyes. We're going to see how that black and white on the eyes actually works. I'm very interested to find out. I think it's going to mix. I genuinely think that the black and white are just going to mix. I don't think it's going to give the effect that we want. But hey, we're going to find out, right? Let's go. So here we are. We got the blue outline already in place, and we're going to fill this in with red. I don't know if y'all can tell, but the gold dries really flat compared to all the other colors, which I think is very interesting because it's one of the thicker consistencies when you actually do the pour, but for some reason it dries thinner than the rest. A little more here. We'll see how far that can go. But I feel like this one's, I feel like the red is also having a problem with spreading out properly. So we may have to do even a second pass through because you can see how far down it is from the blue wall. That's because of how thinly the gold dries. I didn't put any more layers than I usually do, but you can see that it dried much, much flatter than the rest. So we're gonna do a quick pass through, kind of all around, because I'm seeing a whole bunch of gold still peeking through. While that's doing that, I do have to touch up this portion of the eye. Okay, so I don't want to put too much more down on the bottom because I can already see it sort of hitting the top of the eye barrier. But we're gonna. I don't believe that's moving there in the center. That's the only place left that we really need to fill in. But I can't tell if it's moving. A little more over here because I can see it hasn't quite gotten to the border. There we go. That ought to do the trick. That'll get us our So we've got the blue, we've got the red, we've got Spider-Man working on himself here. Um, and then we're going to do a layer, or like one pass through with the black, and then I'm going to try to get some white in the center of the eye, and we're going to see if those two colors mix too much, or if they sort of stick around and do what they're supposed to do. It's going to be very interesting. I'm very, very excited to see how this actually plays out. There we go. That's just about filled itself in. There we go. And actually, I do see some air bubbles, so we're going to hit it with the heat gun real quick. There we go. Oh, I know y'all can't see it, but there is, on the opposite side here, at an angle that y'all can't see, there is still gold left, so I'm going to put a little more red on there. Alright, well that should do. That ought to do. Alright, so now's the experimental time. We're going to try to do a little bit of black, put white in the middle. We're going to see if this actually mixes too much. Hey there, Koala. We're doing Spider-Man today. So we just want to make sure that the outline here gets a nice thick line of black. Because if this does pan out the way we want it to, it's going to look pretty sick. So we get a thick line of black, and then we fill the rest in with white. And like I said, my theory is that this is just going to turn gray. That this is all going to mix a little too much and end up turning gray. But it would be so sick if I was wrong about that. That needs a little bit more. There we go. Well, so far it doesn't seem to be mixing too badly. So I think that might actually, this theory may actually pan out. This request might actually look pretty sick. That is crazy that the white and black aren't just, oh, I'm doing the black outline on this one a little too thick, so I'm not a huge fan of that one, but so it kind of ends up with honestly more of a Deadpool look. It's supposed to be Spider-Man, and wow, those pupils, one of them is massively dilated. the other one, I think I poured a little too much black there at the beginning. But you know, obviously I don't want to, I don't know, should I add a little more white to the other pupil to make it bigger, to try to even it out? Or do we think that that's going to like make it a little too gray and it's going to mix the colors a little too much? What are we thinking, Chad? Do I add more white or do I leave it as is? Add more? We're going to add some more white? All right. We're going to see what happens. We're going to try to even this out a little bit and hope that the colors like don't mix. I mean, so far the colors have done a pretty good job of not mixing. So this may work. This may work. Oh, that got kind of janky, didn't it? Oh man, that's the beauty of this paint, is you really cannot control how it works out. Wow, that looks kind of terrible. No, I love it. I think it's interesting and it's fun, and I think we learned some new stuff about this, about the medium. I cannot believe that the black and white did not mix to too bad of an extent. You know, like they're not. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool to me. Not a huge fan of how I, you know, not a huge fan of the shape of it, but but you know, without doing any lines on the mask, I think it's just going to end up looking like Deadpool no matter what, you know. So that's just kind of something we're going to have to live with. But I put the blue around there. I gave it a blue outline to try to emphasize more of the Spider-Man effect to it. I did what I could. But hey, I will catch y'all back here tomorrow. I've got a show tonight, so I won't be going live. Hey, get those requests in. Let's see what else we can turn this guy into, right? Y'all have a good one.